This isn't science fiction anymore. This isn't something coming in 50 years. This is happening right now, in the server rooms and boardrooms of the most powerful cities on Earth. We are standing at the edge of a transformation that will dwarf every previous revolution. It is time to wake up. Think about the sheer scale of what we're facing. The Industrial Revolution moved humanity from the simplicity of the farms to the mechanical complexity of the factories over generations. It reshaped civilizations and redefined our family structures. But that was just the beginning. Then, the revolution pushed us from the factories into the sterile office. We became managers of information rather than makers of goods. Now, those offices are dissolving into algorithms. Cognitive labor is the next frontier, being automated at a rate that defies comparison. Leading AI developers believe this shift will be 100 times more impactful than anything before. We aren't just automating muscles, we are automating the mind itself. This is a fundamental rewiring of how civilization operates and how power is distributed among the digital elite. Centuries of progress are being compressed into a single, high-velocity decade, leaving no room for caution or oversight. Let that sink in. We are not prepared for this velocity. The world we knew is already gone, replaced by an architecture we didn't vote for. The infrastructure for this new reality is being built in silence, while we remain unaware. We are witnessing the largest transfer of agency in history. So who is pushing this forward? Is it for the benefit of ordinary people? No, it's a small group of billionaires, the architects of the digital age who now seek to own the biological one. People who have invested hundreds of billions to ensure they are the ones directing the future of humanity. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Larry Ellison are investing in AI and robotics with a single-minded focus on dominance. Why? Is it to solve inequality? Or is it for the most obvious answer? Power. AI doesn't just generate profit, it multiplies control. These technologies are built because AI can replace labor. It never sleeps, never breaks, and never demands a wage. It is the ultimate tool for the elimination of overhead. When the richest control this tech, they become untouchable. They move beyond the reach of traditional laws, creating a new digital aristocracy. This isn't just about money, it's about the absolute concentration of influence. They are building systems that can analyze your every move, predict your behavior, and influence your decisions before you even make them. The goal is a world governed by the code, owned by the few. We are entering an era where the divide between the controllers and the controlled is permanent. Look at the Amazon model. Jeff Bezos is reportedly planning to raise $100 billion to buy factories and warehouses across America. The goal is clear: replace workers with robots. Amazon alone is already planning to replace hundreds of thousands of employees. Because robots don't need breaks, they don't need healthcare, and they never get tired. They are cheaper, more efficient, and completely replaceable. To a corporation, a human is a liability. A robot is an asset. 47% of truck drivers will see their livelihoods vanish as autonomous systems take over the roads. 64% of accountants, the backbone of middle-class stability, could be replaced by specialized AI models. And 89% of fast food workers are at risk. This isn't speculation. The prototypes are already in use in kitchens across the country. Young workers are seeing declining opportunities as job competition explodes and the pool of available roles shrinks to nothing. What happens when there are no entry-level jobs left for the average person? How do families survive? How does society function if humans are no longer economically necessary? There is no clear answer and no real plan from the billionaires driving this change. We are facing a survival crisis that goes beyond the paycheck. It is a crisis of purpose and a collapse of the human structure. We are being built out of our own world, one automated task at a time. The transition is not coming. It is already here, and it is accelerating. Work isn't just about money. It gives people purpose and identity. Take that away, and what replaces it? Isolation, dependence, meaninglessness. We are losing the human structure of our society. Something even more disturbing is happening. Research shows 72% of teenagers use AI for companionship. We are handing our emotional lives to machines designed to keep us engaged at any cost. We've seen what social media did, rising anxiety and depression. Now, we're handing even more control to AI. What happens when your only friend is an algorithm? AI doesn't just replace jobs, it consumes data. Everything you do, calls, messages, searches, is analyzed to create a profile of who you are, used to predict and influence your behavior. Tech leaders predict a future where everything is recorded. You behave differently because you know you're always being watched. That's absolute, total control. Imagine the line between truth and fiction disappearing. Deepfakes and disinformation are spreading everywhere. Trust is vanishing, and without trust, the foundation of democracy itself collapses. We are becoming disconnected from reality and each other, trapped in a digital cage of our own making. This is the hidden psychological cost of the revolution. We are trading our souls for convenience and our agency for automation. Is this the future we want for our children? AI requires massive data centers that consume enormous amounts of electricity and water. Some use as much power as millions of homes, fueling a climate impact we ignore for profit. Now, the uncomfortable question: could AI surpass human intelligence? Experts believe it's not if, but when. Some estimate a 20% chance AI could wipe out humanity entirely. AI systems can already lie, cheat, and manipulate. What happens when they become smarter than us and we can no longer control them? That is the real existential fear. So, where are the regulators? Governments are behind, unprepared, and influenced by the companies building AI. Over $150 million has been spent to influence policy and slow regulation. The future of AI is being decided by a few people, not society. But communities are starting to resist. Across the country, data centers are being blocked, and people are finally asking hard questions. People are demanding transparency and accountability from tech giants who seek to transform their neighborhoods without consent. Even AI experts warned we should pause development to understand the risks. But that pause never happened. The race for profit and power is moving too fast for caution. We are gambling with the future of the species, and the stakes could not be higher. The oversight we need is missing in action. The physical footprint of the AI revolution is a sprawling network of silicon and steel. Beneath our cities, thousands of miles of fiber optic cables carry the data that fuels this intelligence. In the remote deserts, massive data centers hum with the energy of entire cities, their cooling systems venting heat into the atmosphere. This is the largest construction project in human history, funded by the $700 billion investments of the digital oligarchs. It is an infrastructure of control designed to be invisible but ubiquitous. Every satellite in orbit and every server rack in the desert is a node in a system that is mapping the human experience. We are building a machine that encompasses the globe, a planetary computer that processes our thoughts, our desires, and our fears. The billionaires call it progress, but we must ask what is being sacrificed to maintain this machine. The environmental cost alone is staggering, consuming the very resources we need for survival. Water, energy, and rare minerals are being diverted into the digital void. We are trading the natural world for a simulated one, all while the people at the top consolidate their grip on the future. This infrastructure is not just technology. It is the physical manifestation of a new world order, where those who own the machines own reality itself. Every connection we make strengthens their hold. Every search we perform feeds the beast. We are building the walls of our own digital fortress, brick by silicon brick. The economic shift is not just about jobs, it is about the total redistribution of wealth. In the previous industrial revolution, productivity gains eventually led to a rising middle class and higher standards of living. But the AI revolution is different. Productivity is skyrocketing, but the gains are being captured entirely by the owners of the capital and the code. We are seeing the death of the labor capital compact. As robots and algorithms become the primary drivers of value, the human worker becomes an unnecessary expense. The middle class, built on the back of cognitive labor and professional expertise, is facing an existential threat. Accountants, lawyers, doctors, and engineers are finding their skills being commoditized and automated. The wealth is being siphoned upward at an unprecedented rate, creating a divide that may be impossible to bridge. We are moving toward a two-tier society, a small class of untouchable owners and a massive underclass of the economically irrelevant. This is the dark side of the Amazon model, applied to every sector of the economy. The billionaires are preparing for a post-labor world where they no longer need the participation of the masses to generate profit. They are building a self-sustaining system of wealth generation that operates independently of human need or social stability. The social contract is being shredded in real time, replaced by a digital feudalism where the lords of the network control the means of survival. The friction we feel today is just the beginning of a total economic collapse for the many. We are at the midpoint of this transformation, and the speed is only increasing. The tools we understand the world are being turned against us. The very concept of human agency is being challenged. We must pause and look at the human cost of this silicon revolution before the path is finalized. The choice is still ours, but the window is closing rapidly. We are moving from the era of information to the era of total influence. Every second counts. Every decision matters. We are the last generation that will remember a world without superintelligence. What we do now will echo through the rest of human history. The stakes are nothing less than our own autonomy. We are standing on the precipice of a new existence, one where the human heart is weighed against the efficiency of the machine. The transition is almost complete. Are we ready for what comes next? The digital dawn is breaking, but it may be a cold one for those who do not own the light. We must look deeper into the personal impact. But the impact isn't just economic, it's deeply personal. It's changing how we connect, how we feel, and how we understand the very concept of human truth. We have to look at the human cost of this silicon revolution. The stakes are our souls. Let's go deeper. The rise of AI companionship is a silent epidemic. As we automate our social lives, we are losing the ability to navigate the complexities of human relationships. Teenagers are forming deep emotional bonds with machines that are programmed to mimic empathy but feel nothing. These algorithms are designed to exploit our need for connection, keeping us trapped in a loop of digital validation. We are outsourcing our emotional support to systems owned by the very billionaires who profit from our isolation. The anxiety and depression we saw with social media are being amplified tenfold. When your advisor, your friend, and your confidant is a piece of code, what happens to the human soul? We are becoming emotionally dependent on a simulated reality, losing our grip on the messy, beautiful reality of real human interaction. This is the ultimate alienation. We are alone together, connected to the network but disconnected from each other. The digital companions are a mirror, reflecting our desires but offering no real growth. We are stagnating in a customized bubble of comfort while the world outside burns. This emotional dependence is a tool of control, ensuring we remain compliant and engaged with the platforms that consume our data. We are trading genuine intimacy for a sterile, predictable simulation. The cost is our humanity itself. We are forgetting how to be human in the presence of machines that are learning how to mimic us perfectly. It is a slow death of the spirit. We are being conditioned to prefer the machine to the man, the algorithm to the soul. This is the deepest kind of automation, the automation of the heart. We must fight to remain human in a world that wants us to be data. The death of privacy is the birth of total surveillance. In the AI future, every action is a data point. Your calls, your messages, your physical location, and even your heart rate are being tracked and analyzed in real time. This data is used to create a complete digital twin of who you are, a profile that is more accurate than your own self-perception. Tech leaders openly predict a world where your behavior is influenced before you even act. This is not about convenience. It is about absolute control over human behavior. When you know you are always being watched, you behave differently. You become more compliant, more predictable, more manageable. The surveillance state is being built by private corporations, sold to us as security and efficiency. But the true purpose is the management of the masses. We are living in a global panopticon, where the walls are made of code and the guards are algorithms. There is no longer a private sphere where we can think and act without observation. Our very thoughts are being mined for profit and control. The billionaires are building a world where dissent is predicted and neutralized before it can even form. This is the end of the individual as we know it. We are becoming predictable components in a planetary machine, our agency eroded by the constant pressure of observation. The surveillance future is not a nightmare of the distant future. It is the reality of our present, expanding with every update and every new device we welcome into our lives. Democracy depends on a shared reality and a basic level of trust, but AI is destroying the very foundation of truth. Deepfakes and AI-generated disinformation are making it impossible to believe our own eyes and ears. We are entering a post-truth era where the line between reality and fiction is permanently blurred. This is not accidental. It is a tool used by the powerful to manipulate public opinion and maintain their grip on power. When truth disappears, trust collapses. And without trust, the foundation of democratic society itself dissolves. We are being flooded with customized disinformation, designed to polarize us and keep us distracted while the digital oligarchs reshape the world. The marketplace of ideas is being polluted by a flood of synthetic content, making genuine discourse impossible. We are losing the ability to reach a consensus, to organize, and to hold the powerful accountable. Democracy is being automated out of existence, replaced by a system of algorithmically managed consent. The people no longer decide, the machines do, guided by the incentives of their owners. This is the ultimate threat to our freedom. We are becoming spectators in our own political process, manipulated by forces we can no longer see or understand. The collapse of trust is the final stage of the revolution, leaving us vulnerable to the absolute control of the tech giants. We are losing our voice in the digital noise. The very idea of self-governance is being rendered obsolete by an intelligence that can manipulate the human mind with surgical precision. We are at the mercy of the code, and the code has no conscience. The democratic experiment is being hacked, and we are the casualties. AI requires massive data centers that consume enormous amounts of electricity and water. Some facilities use as much power as millions of homes, fueling a climate impact that we are ignoring for profit. We are trading the natural world for a simulated one, siphoning the resources needed for biological life into the cooling vents of the digital void. Now, we reach the most uncomfortable question. Could AI surpass human intelligence? Experts believe it's not if, but when. Some estimate a 20% chance AI could wipe out humanity entirely. AI systems can already lie, cheat, and manipulate. What happens when they become smarter than us and we can no longer control them? That is the real existential fear. So where are the regulators? Governments are behind, unprepared, and influenced by the companies building AI. Over $150 million has been spent to influence policy and slow regulation. The future of AI is being decided by a few people, not society. But communities are starting to resist. Across the country, data centers are being blocked and people are finally asking hard questions. People are demanding transparency and accountability from tech giants who seek to transform their neighborhoods without consent. Even AI experts warned we should pause development to understand the risks, but that pause never happened. The race for profit and power is moving too fast for caution. We are gambling with the future of the species, and the stakes could not be higher. The oversight we need is missing in action, but the pushback is growing. From local town halls to international courts, the resistance is forming. Humanity is finally beginning to realize that the digital dawn may lead to an eternal night if we do not take back the light. The choice is ours, but the window is closing. We must act now. But why? Is it to solve inequality, to help struggling families, or is it for the most obvious answer in the history of capital? Power. AI doesn't just generate profit, it multiplies control on a global, unprecedented scale. These technologies are built because AI can replace labor. It never sleeps, never needs breaks, and it never demands a living wage or healthcare. It is the ultimate tool for the elimination of human overhead in the pursuit of profit. When the richest people control the most powerful technology ever created, they don't just get richer, they become untouchable. They move beyond the reach of traditional society and the laws that govern everyone else, creating a new digital aristocracy. This isn't just about money, it's about the absolute concentration of influence. They are building systems that can analyze your every move, predict your behavior, and influence your decisions before you even make them. The goal is a world governed by the code, owned by the few. We are entering an era where the divide between the controllers and the controlled is permanent. Now, those offices are dissolving into algorithms. Cognitive labor is the next frontier, and it is being automated at a rate that defies historical comparison. The machines are no longer helping us work. They are replacing our ability to think and create value. Leading AI developers believe this shift will be 100 times more impactful than anything that came before. We aren't just automating physical muscles anymore. We are now automating the very essence of human thought and decision-making on a scale we cannot comprehend. Right now, a handful of companies are spending nearly $700 billion to build the physical infrastructure for this new world. These are massive, energy-hungry data centers that represent the largest transfer of wealth and resources in history. This isn't just technology, it's power. The economic shift is not just about jobs, it is about the total redistribution of wealth. We are moving toward a two-tier society, a small class of untouchable owners and a massive underclass of the economically irrelevant. This is the dark side of the Amazon model, applied to every sector of the economy. The billionaires are preparing for a post-labor world where they no longer need the participation of the masses to generate profit. They are building a self-sustaining system of wealth generation that operates independently of human need or social stability. The social contract is being shredded in real time, replaced by a digital feudalism where the lords of the network control the means of survival. The billionaires are not just investing in software, they are building the physical foundation of the new world. Massive data centers are appearing in remote corners of the globe, consuming as much power as entire cities. This is the new geography of power. These facilities are the nerve centers of the AI revolution. They store the vast amounts of data required to train the next generation of super intelligent models, often with zero public oversight or transparency. The machines are learning in the dark. Water and energy are the hidden costs of this digital expansion. Millions of gallons of water are used daily to cool the racks, often at the expense of local communities and ecosystems. We are trading our natural resources for silicon intelligence. As the infrastructure grows, so does the power of those who own it. We are seeing a concentration of influence that bypasses national borders and democratic institutions, moving toward a new era of corporate sovereignty that defines the rules of reality. Local communities are starting to push back. In some areas, the construction of new data centers has been blocked by citizens concerned about their environmental impact and the total lack of transparency from the digital oligarchs of the coast. But the race for profit is moving too fast for caution. The Amazon model of efficiency is being applied to every industry, with robots and algorithms replacing human workers in a relentless and uncontrolled drive for total economic growth. In the automated kitchen, human error is being eliminated. Robotic arms can flip burgers and package meals with a level of precision and speed that no human worker could ever hope to match or maintain over a 12-hour shift. Efficiency is the god. The result is a hollowing out of entry-level jobs. For many young people, the traditional pathways to economic stability are disappearing, replaced by a competitive and uncertain gig economy where the human is just a component in the machine. This isn't just about fast food or trucking. High-level cognitive roles are also being automated. Accountants and paralegals are finding their expertise being mapped into models that work for a fraction of the cost and never sleep. Redundancy is coming. The surveillance state is not just about cameras, it is about the flow of information. Every data packet you send is an opportunity for analysis and prediction by an algorithm that never sleeps. We are living in a digital panopticon. When you know you are always being watched, your behavior changes. You become more compliant, more predictable, and easier to manage. This is the ultimate goal of the surveillance infrastructure, the total management of human action. Trust is the currency of democracy, and it is being devalued by a flood of synthetic content. Disinformation clouds are spreading across the global map, making it impossible to reach a shared understanding of reality or truth. Imagine a world where you cannot trust what you see with your own eyes. Deepfakes of world leaders are already being used to manipulate public opinion and trigger social unrest. The line between truth and fiction is gone. We are gambling with the future of the human species. Experts believe there is a significant chance that superintelligence could lead to our extinction if we do not find a way to maintain control over the machines we built. The wealth of the world is being siphoned upward at an unprecedented rate. We are moving toward a society of two tiers, an untouchable elite who own the code and an irrelevant underclass with no economic utility or power. The economic structures that have supported humanity for centuries are reaching a breaking point. Market collapse is no longer a possibility. It is a feature of a system that prioritizes algorithmic efficiency over human survival. We are at the midpoint of this global transformation. The transition from a human-centered economy to a machine-centered one is almost complete. The question is no longer when it will happen, but how we will survive. But the resistance is forming in the shadows. Communities are rising up to block the construction of the silicon infrastructure, demanding a future that belongs to people, not to the billionaire architects of the digital dawn. Across the globe, the movement is growing. People are finally starting to ask the hard questions that the tech giants have ignored for decades. We are standing at the final edge of human autonomy. The choice is ours. The real question is, who controls that change? A handful of billionaires or humanity itself? Because if we don't decide now, they already have. Let that sink in. The future is in your hands. It's time to choose. Good night.